Everyone. I'm going to start today with a performance of the Kuchipudi dance form. It's a performance of a story, an Indian mythological story about a little boy, Krishna, and his mom, Yashoda. His mom tries to feed Krishna some cooked rice, but Krishna, who's known to love butter, refuses to eat the rice and insists on eating the butter, which is hanging in a pot from the ceiling. Mom says no, but annoyed with this constant refusal, she decides to put him to sleep. Krishna waits for the mom to go to bed, escapes from under the sheets, and tries to get to the pot, realizes that he can't reach it, so he goes out, he calls his friends in, they build a human pyramid for him to climb up, he gets to the pot, they all share the butter, finish it, put the empty pot back up. He sends his friends home, comes back, and falls asleep next to his mom like nothing happened. The mom eventually wakes up, and she sees her son sleeping next to her. She feels bad for him and decides that he deserves some butter. So she gets up, goes to get the butter, only to see that the pot is empty. But by this time, her son is running away laughing. And I love this story. It's a story that's very popular in India, and it's a story I listened to growing up. But beyond the story, what I urge you guys to pay attention to is body language. Pay attention to changes in body language with characters, changes in body language with emotions within the characters, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So, how does performing dance, or even watching a performance, create dynamic leaders? It's not the most obvious partnership, but I strongly believe it has the power to create effective leaders. Let's go back in time a little bit. I started learning dance around the age of 4 from my mom. I learned the Kuchipudi dance form, which is a classical dance form from South India, which focuses heavily on body language, storytelling, and expressions. And when I was younger, I didn't understand the value of the art. But the older I got, the more the passion grew. And I started to give lecture demonstrations across various institutions in India and the United States. I was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records for being part of the largest dance in this art form. I founded a nonprofit to help use this art form to help social causes. And I started to teach. And while performing dance is a big part of what I love about being a dancer, teaching is the part that keeps the passion in me alive. And what I noticed is as I taught, I started to change as a person. I started to evolve. At first, it was my patience. Definitely got better at that. And then eventually, it was the fact that I was able to pick up on subtle cues from my students, from their body language, from the way they carried themselves. And I could tell if they were prepared for class or not, if they were having a bad day, or if they even wanted to be in the class. And what that helped me do was cater my teaching to best suit the needs of that student on that particular day. Let's put a pin in that and pivot just a little bit. When you learn dance, as a dancer, posture is a big part of what they teach you. You gotta have good posture, your back has to be straight, you gotta project confidence. And when I started my professional career, I figured that was the one thing that I would carry forward with me. What I didn't realize was the effect that that had on the people around me, whether it was giving a speech, whether it was talking to my teammates or delivering bad news. You don't walk in with your chest covered, your shoulders slumped, looking down, looking nervous. Rather, and this is something I learned, you take an imaginary string running through your body and you pull it up. Your back is straight, your chin is up, you project confidence. And suddenly, bad news isn't just bad news, it's an opportunity for growth. And a mistake, it's not just a mistake, it's an opportunity to learn something new. And just like that, controlling your body language, controlling my body language, I realized gave me the possibility of controlling the thoughts and the reactions of the people around me. You realize that you can control entire trajectories of conversations. Now, coming back to that pin, understanding the body language of the people in front of you. Controlling your own body language is important, but so is being able to understand the people in front of you. Now, as a dancer, when I'm on stage, I'm not just a dancer, I'm not just CHINMAYI. Sometimes I'm a man looking for his lover. Sometimes I'm a girl chatting with her friend. Sometimes I'm a mom trying to feed her child, and sometimes I'm that child being mischievous and naughty with the mom. Each of these characters comes to life on stage because of my ability, because of a dancer's ability to step into the shoes of that character, understand the thought processes that are unique to that character, their body language, and project that outwards. And really, that's no different from stepping into the shoes of a team member, a coworker, or a peer, understanding their thought process, understanding their body language, and being the best peer or leader that they need at that particular point in time. You realize that you'll start to notice little changes in them, right? The way they hold their hands, the way they walk, the way they stand. You become more aware, you become a better listener, and you become more empathetic. And that, empathy, that's the difference between a good leader and a great leader or an effective leader. Being able to step into the shoes of the other person, understand them, recognize their body language, and being the most effective leader for that person at that point in time. So, controlling your own body language, understanding the body language of others. These are facets to being a great, effective leader. But another thing that you need to be a good leader, or an effective leader rather, is being able to lead your team to success. And one thing I learned at Tepper is on that path to success, you'll have to negotiate. There'll be many instances where you'll have to negotiate your way to get to that success. Now, we've all heard this, conversations or negotiations. A big part of those is nonverbal cues. About 55% of a conversation is nonverbal cues. And being able to take advantage of that 55%, understand it, recognize it, and analyze it, you'll realize that gives you an edge in conversations. I'll give you an example. It's about a dancer that I grew up watching, a dancer that I looked up to growing up, and sometimes I would see this dancer interact with certain kinds of people, and not always, but in some instances, I didn't agree with the way they reacted. I thought they should have been more assertive. They should have been more aggressive. They should have put their foot down. They should have just been louder. Whereas instead, they would be calm. They would smile or even say something positive, or sometimes just not say anything at all. And I'll be honest, when I was younger, I used to get upset because I thought that was a sign of weakness. And it wasn't until years later that I realized that what I was seeing wasn't weakness, but in fact, it was that dancer's ability to take a step back from that conversation, step into the shoes of that person in front of them, understand them, analyze their body language, listen to what they were saying, and make a decision in that moment on whether or not to be aggressive and assertive, or whether to just listen and improvise a little bit. And I still learn from this dancer every day. I'm very proud to say that this particular dancer is my mom, and she's probably one of the greatest negotiators I've ever met in my life. So, dance. I've seen my dance form have the power to heal people's hearts, move people's souls. And whether you're a new dancer or a seasoned dancer or an audience member, whether you're on stage performing or observing off stage, being acquainted with the form, understanding it, you realize you'll start to recognize the changes in body language, changes in emotions. You'll be able to follow that storyline without reading anything at all, without any words. And being able to do that puts you on a path to becoming an effective leader. Dance has taught me confidence. It teaches control. And most importantly, it teaches empathy and understanding. And that is what makes a great leader. And I'm still learning, and I encourage all of you to take advantage of that and harness that. Thank you.